Hello everybody, Carole Garrison with Carole's Creative Escape. Apologies, I'm a little bit late tonight. Started working on the project for the card or the video tonight and got carried away and made an extra card to share with you because I was having so much fun with the layering. So welcome everybody. As I said, my name is Carole Garrison. I'm just making sure I'm in the right place here. My name is Carole Garrison with Carole's Creative Escape, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. Have been with them for about 10 and a half, well, actually 11 years. Yeah, 11 years now. Anyhow, I am here simply to show you how to make cards, share with you a fun layout. Hey, Donna, thanks so much for sharing your card examples from last week's video, too. Loved what you created. Anyhow, I am here to simply share my love of making cards, help inspire other people, and spread joy one card at a time. Tonight, I have a really fun Christmas card layout that I'm going to share with you, but I've also made it into birthday cards and that type of thing as well. So it is a very versatile layout. Just depends what you're doing. And as is usual with my cards, it's going to show off a little bit of designer series paper. Hey, Anne, thanks for joining in. A little bit of designer series paper and maybe some layers or two. And just creating a couple of really different cards. So I'm going to flip my camera over, not spend a lot of time chit-chatting here. Had a great week. I hope that you did too. This weekend we did a cookie exchange with my family. Hey, Lynn. So that was kind of fun. And then yesterday we hosted some friends for lasagna dinner. And it was kind of nice just to get together with people a little bit outside of my family. We've been doing quite a bit with my family or my husband's family. And now it was just nice to visit with friends for a little bit too. So without further ado, let me flip the camera over. Oh, I thought John had the kitties upstairs, but one of them has just made an appearance and they are being pain in the neck tonight. So don't be surprised if they come visit us. I put my Christmas tree up. It is a wooden Christmas tree that I made quite a few years ago that had little holes so I could string lights in it. And then I have glued on ornaments, and that is the closest I'm getting to a Christmas tree this year, because I know if I do anything different, those cats are just going to get in the way. So let me flip camera over and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I know some of you might be saying, hey Carole, you've got a different background. I do, and I need to tell you about this. It makes noise. It's a tempered glass work service that is available to me as a demonstrator right now. And the only way you're going to be able to get this as a non-demonstrator is if you sign up to become one during celebration. Now, the funny thing about this glass here is I had been thinking it would be really nice to have something like this and how versatile this surface would be, especially if you're working on a slightly warped table. The only problem I can tell is I'm going to have some reflection. I'll have to work with that part just a little bit. But this is a surface, and I'm going to do a video just to show you what all it can do. But I can put ink from my ink re-inkers right on here. I could blend my own colors, and it's just going to wipe off with the cloth. It's got measurements and things. So I'm going to talk about how great this thing is and how excited I was when I'm thinking, I want something like this. And in my head, I've been thinking about it, but haven't found anything in the market for it. And then next thing I know, I get my celebration catalog and voila, Stampin' Up answered my dreams. So I am super excited, and I will be sharing more about this cool thing. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to always be able to use it in videos just because there is a bit of a reflection, but we're going to see how it works tonight and we'll go from there. And then, like I said, I will post more details. But again, the only way you can get this right now is if you're a demonstrator and you're doing pre-ordering through the new mini catalog that's going to be coming out in January, as well as the celebration catalog. And they're limiting how many demonstrators can get at right now to just one. And when the quantity that they have set up for demonstrators is gone, it's gone for demonstrators until it becomes a product at some point in the future. So they're even limiting it, the number that demonstrators not only can purchase individually, but as a whole. So really, really excited to see this coming. and I will share some more information about it. But let's get to the card we're making tonight. How pretty is that? Just a couple different layers with a little bit of designer series paper on it. Let's see if I put my card right over that glare. I can do that. Few simple layers, and then on the inside it's just a simple happy birthday. I did not do anything to texturize the background on this card, and it's going to be the only one I make that I don't texturize the background. I have a thing about plain backgrounds, and it just really stood out to me on this one. It's fine, it works. I just like a little bit of texture. So the next card I made is using that wonderful birthday paper, and as I've mentioned before, I am making birthday cards for everybody at work. And so typically my samples are going to have a birthday sentiment on it just so I can use it that way. I really like the combination of the papers on here and the patterns. And then I did use one of the online exclusive embossing folders that allowed me to just have the texture that I need on the card. So I do like how that one popped out. And on this one, I didn't put anything in this inside. I'm just letting the brightness of the card and that sentiment speak for itself. And then I still haven't gotten my Christmas cards out, so I'm still working on making some. So, of course, I had to make a Christmas card using the Beary Cute Christmas stamp and some of the coordinating designer series paper. And so this is the card that I came up. And again, I did use that coordinating snowflake embossing folder that came with this suite of products. But what I did on this piece is I made this 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and on here, this one is 4 by 5 1/4, and I definitely like it a little bit bigger. So just showing you a couple different layouts that I played with to see what worked best. And then on the inside, I just stamped the packages that came with the Beary Cute stamp set and put my sentiment down low so I've got room to write wherever I'm sending it to. So let me go ahead and show you how to make this card. I'm going to use the Beary Cute again, but doing it in kind of different colors, non-traditional Christmas colors. This is using the pecan pie cardstock, and then we will use Old Olive as the accent color. So the pieces you need for this card are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then for that textured layer, I'm using 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 here. And then I've got a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside of my card. And then for the rest of the cardstock, I have a piece that measures 2 1/2 by 4, 2 1/2 by 5, 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then we're going to move to my sentiment. I'm actually going to repeat that Warm Wishes because, again, I'm going to be using these hopefully this weekend to get Christmas cards out. So I have just created with scraps my sentiment piece. This one happens to be 1 1/8 by, isn't that cool? I can measure on my little glass thing here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put it over here. Oh, that's centimeters. Well, trust me, I can measure. So this one measures 1 3/4 by 1 1/8. And then this piece is 1 3/8 by, what would that be by? 2 inches. So just a little bit bigger going all the way around. And that's just for my sentiment. You can do yours whatever size you want. And then I've got a piece of designer series paper that is 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. One of the pieces that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then finally a piece that measures 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then finally I did use my Beary Cute punch to punch out one of the bears that goes with this designer series paper. So, you know, and I should do a quick shout out. This particular designer series paper is part of our Making a Difference collection, and $3, it's called A Walk in the Forest, and $3 of every pack of this paper that gets purchased does get contributed to an organization that helps those in need. So just a little FYI. The retired list has come out, and unfortunately this is one of the items that's retiring. but because I am from White Bear Lake, I'm going to keep my punch because it punches out great polar bears. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just burnish along the score line, and then I'm going to grab my items so that I can do a little bit of stamping. And so we'll grab our Old Olive ink here. I was just like a little kid in the candy store when I saw the new catalog and saw this in here. I did not pay to rush ship it because that gets really expensive really quick. Ooh, that's just a titch crooked. We're going to see if I can make this one work. That is better, but there's an ink smear on it. We're just going to work with this one for tonight. All right, and then on the inside of the card, I am going to stamp the Christmas tree that is in the Beary Cute. Whoops, that's not the Beary Cute stamp set. The Christmas tree that's in this Beary Cute stamp set, just in the corner. And to start, whoops, the only problem is your photopolymers in particular will really stick to the glass, but we'll make that work. This is easily portable too, so again, oh, there's some static on it. I will talk about the benefits of it because I have been waiting. I didn't even know I was waiting until recently when I started formulating what it was I wanted. And like I said, I was shocked when it came out in the catalog because in my head I knew, I just didn't know anything like it existed. All right, so I'm going to do the inside, and I want to do this in second generation stamping. Yep. So we'll stamp once, stamp it off, and then I am just going to kind of put this on the inside of my tree, and there we go. It's sort of imperfect stamping because it doesn't fit exactly, but it just adds a little bit of color. And then that is all I'm going to add on the inside of my card. I'm not going to put any more sentiment because I've got to have a little room to write to whoever's getting this card. All right, I got my ink pads out of the way, and now we can start to assemble. Even though there are lots of pieces to this, because it's all rectangles, it is very easy to cut and make multiples of this card. So first thing I'm going to do is let's just add the inside piece of paper to my card, and that way I don't run a risk of losing it. So I'm just going to take my adhesive and light pressure, and that check mark. My sister was making fun of me because I had one video where I kept saying that, and I say it not so much always to reinforce it for you guys, although I think it's a great tip. Sometimes I'll say it to remind myself what I need to do. So now I'm going to add this layer to the front of the card. Now, if you'll notice on my first card, I did it so it was, the embossing was facing inward. And this time I'm going to have more of the texture facing outward. So I think there's like a de-embossed or something like that. I don't know. And this one has just a teeny tiny border. So we'll add that to the card. Get that one out of the way. And now we'll go in and we'll put the bear off to the side and just go ahead and assemble our layers. That's pretty self-explanatory because the paper is going to fit right inside the cardstock. The only thing that you will want to do is when you're adhering it to the card front, if you have a specific pattern that needs to be followed, just make sure that you adhere it correctly. In this case, it isn't going to matter here because I can have it this way and it's upside down. I can have it that way. It's just that once I get it on my card, if I put it on upside down, then I'm going to have a little bit of issue moving it. All right. So we'll put that here. We're going to add this last piece here. Oh, came home from work today, and even though it was Monday, I'm already really tired. We're going through some changes, just like last year. My job is changing come the first of the year a little bit because my company sold the campus that I work on to another group. Like last time, I do have a job. Unlike last time, I will stay in my field. I think my responsibilities are going to change somewhat, but as stressful as it was when we found out about it at the end of November, things are kind of falling in place, and I think there may be some opportunities that are going to be good too. So we'll see what happens. There's just one more thing to deal with at the holidays, but it's all right. You know, I think I need to add just a teeny bit of ribbon to this one too. I don't know why, but now that I see it, I'm going to wait to put anything on until I get all my layers assembled. No, I want, all right. I'm going to get rid of those frayed edges. This is the bordered ribbon, and it's in Night of Navy. And I like it, just as a little accent piece. All right, so my trees go here. I'm going to want it on this edge because this part will be covered. So if I want it on this edge, I need to just put my adhesive here. Whoa. Oh, good. I'm coming to the end of my tape runner. And here. Okay. So, every once in a while, you get to watch me replace my tape runner. And whenever I replace a tape runner, it doesn't really even matter the brand. It seems like you always get a little extra goop on it. And so I use this time when I'm replacing it to get rid of some of that goop. I'm sure there's a more technical term for it, but goop works. I can't get it off my finger now. All right. Let me get... Well, would you look at that? I don't think I have any extra tape runners. Oh, I do. Whew. However, it's my last one. But the good news is on Thursday, December 14th, Stampin' Up! Is having free shipping on orders over $75. So it's possible I might be placing an order that will include some more refills here. How convenient that that particular sale is coming up. So it's for one day only on Thursday, December 14th. Free shipping. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Now we've got a tape dispenser that's going to work. There. Nice. Okay. So now this piece, oh, I was going to put tape on there. See how quickly I forget? Let me grab my silicone mat real quick, because now I know it's going to be sticky all the way around, and I'm just going to fold my ribbon over the edge. And hope I got it somewhat straight. All right. So now let me just put a little bit more adhesive where I have my ribbon. And we can get rid of that. And we'll stick this on here. You know, there's no particular placement that you have to do. Oh, I almost forgot. I lucked out because I didn't look to see which direction my trees were going on this piece. That could have been a disaster. All right, and then we'll take this layer and we're going to put that on top here. And again, I'm just kind of trying to space it evenly here and then sort of have the same border. Now with this, it's just turned out with my cards that I've been able to place them so that this is sort of even on the edges. If it doesn't work that way, it's not a big deal. And then something else I want to point out to you, when I made this card, I initially meant for this piece to be this pattern and this piece would be this pattern, just because I knew I'd be covering it up, and that's just an awful lot of this pattern, so I wanted this to be the focus. And when I put it together, of course I put adhesive on the wrong side, so if you'll notice on this card, I've actually got this bigger piece on top with this smaller piece here underneath this piece. So it works either way. So here it is on top with that longer piece on the bottom, and this card has that longer piece on top with that shorter piece underneath it. So it works either way. I decided I wasn't going to get rid of the card. I was just going to make it work, and I thought it turned out well, so I'm pleased with that. So again, be flexible. Just because you're seeing me do it layered like this does not mean that is how it needs to be made. You can make it fit your needs too. And then this piece, you can center it. I'm going to put it down towards the bottom because actually I am going to put it up a little bit. And the reason for that is I've got my little bear here that I want to add to my card, and I want to make sure there's room for him. And then this sentiment, I am going to put this one again off to the side with just a little blue border, just for no other reason than because I am not using dimensionals on this card on purpose, because it is a little bit thicker with all of the layers that I've got going on it. So just from a mailing perspective, I want to be sure that it'll mail without requiring any special, any additional postage. I try to make sure that the majority of the cards that I make, because I give so many of them to people or sell them, I use them as gifts and stuff. I just want to make sure anybody that isn't a card maker doesn't have to worry about that and have a card come back to them because it didn't have the right amount of postage. All right, so we're going to add our bear here. This looks just a teeny bit crooked. And voila, we are done. Now, I'm thinking, even though this is more of a masculine card, Stella's calling my name, but I think she's hiding on me. Nope, there it is. Is it? Yep. I'm going to do just a few of the pine trees that are exposed with a little bit of Wink of Stella, because what's a card without Stella? It's just a card. All right, and brown bear. You need to shine too. There you go. All right, so now my card is complete. And then when you open it up, you've got that nice pine tree, and you can send a message to your friend or family member, and you should be good to go. So quick, simple, easy card with layers, especially when you don't have to stop and change your tape runner or anything else. So here are just 4 versions of that card. Again, I've got 2 Christmas themed cards and 2 birthday cards. And I think you can see how awesome it is to use our coordinating designer series paper that's got all these fun patterns front and back, so that you can use both of them. So real quick, let me run down measurements again before we sign off here. You got a paper and pencil. We've got 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this is, of course, a 4 by 5 1/4. And then this larger piece of cardstock is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you need cardstock that measures 2 1/2 by 4, cardstock that measures 2 1/2 by 5, and this measures 1 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then your designer series paper is 2 1/4 by 4 3/4, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then you cut your sentiment to fit. And you can embellish it however you want, whether it's with Wink of Stella, ribbon. Again, I deliberately kept my card just without a lot of that embellishment, simply because I did not want to run into issues with postage machines or anything like that. And then let's take a quick look here and confirm weight. We'll throw an envelope here. But I believe even with all those layers, yep, we're still under the single postage stamp price, so that worked out really well. So I hope you have fun, that you give this card a try, and stay tuned. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or Wednesday before I can release a video talking more about this awesome thing. But I will show you real quick 2 accessory pieces that came with it. And then I'll let you go. It does come with this silicone mat. It would hold some of our dots, little tray to store things if you need to, or maybe some little dies. And like I said, it sticks pretty well to this, or you can set it off to the side, just a little storage thing. And then it also comes with this cleaning cloth, and the cloth is in a fairly well sealed bag, and it is a little damp, so it's one of those where you're just going to be able to come through and wipe stuff off. And it's supposed to work for cleaning your blocks off too. And I did get a little bit of adhesive on here. Some of it is coming off, some of it's not, so just beware of that. And then you'll want to just make sure that when this dries out, you get it a little bit damp, because you will want it damp on your when you're working with stuff. And that is all I'll share with you tonight, but we will come back and revisit this cool gadget once again. So take care, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy time with family or cookie baking that you may be doing, and get your Christmas cards out if you haven't already. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.